iBrandTV continues now with the personal finance segment, and for personal finance today, we'll be talking about tips on how to manage finances in marriage. We have the financial doctor here, Charles Fakara, with us. Good morning.
Morning, Samson.
Good morning. Good to have you today.
Wow.
I made a mistake. It should have been Dr. Charles Fakara.
We have a new presenter here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pepe, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Looking
to
good.
have you. Absolutely.
Yes.
So we're continuing, the marriage series on how to manage finances, have financial bliss, deal with financial stress. Today it has to do with managing finances in marriage. And we know quite well that several couples, over the years have had issues on the basis of finances. So this is a really, really important segment that, our viewers would learn from. So you want to run us through some tips, or you want to start with a quote as usual?
Well, we will start with a quote.
Okay.
But again, we have to understand that we must be at peace with money most of the time, no matter what.
Okay.
And we've been told that based on research and in my private practice, money, finance is one of the top 3 causes of divorce in marriages.
Yes.
And what we have come to discover as financial therapists is it is not the money per se, because money is amoral.
Yes.
Money is neutral. It is our own hidden beliefs, hidden attitude that is coming out, we're expressing it out using that money. That is just the essence. And we are saying couples can manage their finance while married.
Okay.
And once the couples are able to do that, of course, we'll see a blissful marriage.
If I'm to come in here, I would say that probably has a lot to do with the ideology. Someone grows up in a home and she feels that as a woman, my money is my money. I don't have a business contributing to whatever is happening at home. And then a man comes from a home where we put everything together, and everybody, everybody's money is everybody's money, sort of.
Yes.
I feel that kind of ideology can also be a factor.
It is a factor. Not that it can, it is a factor already.
Okay.
And that's what we are saying. Before the wedding, when you are planning, you talk about it. And that's what I call your money personality. Some people are spenders, some people are savers. And some persons, they see their father, all what he does is maybe pay housing, pay school fees, while the mothers do other little things. And he grew up, and for him, he thinks that is the ideal. So getting into marriage now, he wants to just pay the housing, does this, and expects the wife, to do the other thing. And you can see, and she, like you have said, from a different background where the father does everything. And so there is this conflict. But if they have spoken about it, open communication about it during courtship and before the marriage, then each party will understand where this is coming from, where this one is coming from. And you can see a blissful marriage.
But is there an ideal way, really, for couples to go about managing their finance?
There is no ideal way. It's what works for you. What works for couple A might not work for couple B. So that's why you need to be open. And that's why we say secrets are a taboo in any relationship. Open up and speak. Communication is very key. So that's why I say we have to be at peace. Some people don't want to talk about money. They are afraid to talk about it. I say, no, don't be afraid. Talk about money, And when you speak openly about it, don't be afraid. Yes, there will be arguments here and there. You must argue with your spouse.
Yeah.
That is not perfect marriage anywhere. But when you argue, always remember, like if I want to quote from the Christian Bible, they are saying, love your wife, as Christ loves the church. The Islam people also have their own saying too, that when you are married, the prophet will bless you, because he knows that with that relationship in the marriage, it will blossom forth and other people will also benefit from it. So you can see that both religions, they support marriages and they know that marriage can work. But again, that's the only institution that you are given the certificates when you are starting the program.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's look at the tips quickly what to do. Number 1, start talking about money before the wedding.
During courtship?
Yes. Even during the wedding. When you are planning the wedding, you discuss, you talk about it.
Yeah.
Like I always say, we're amazed that people go a long way, even up to details as to how they plan their wedding. They even know the color of the dress, the type of shoe the best man will put on, the flower girls and all that. They plan that in details. That wedding is for that particular day. The real tax is the marriage after the wedding. That is when you begin to see issues, coming up. So you talk openly about it. Number 2, examine your relationship. Like I said, if you you marry a monkey for the wealth, when the wealth goes, the monkey will remain. So examine your relationship. Like I said, marriage is sweet. Marriage is for two people who have come together, coming together, trying to achieve a goal they've set, or goals they've set for themselves. And with that bliss, with that coming together, two of them, the obstacles that will be placed before them, they will jointly surmount those obstacles. Money is an opportunity to create unity in a marriage. And when couples come together, they can achieve anything. Okay. Then what happened? Couples, because of their different background, they don't want to come together. The next one is use debit cards. In this part of the country, we don't have credit cards. But some people have an arrangement with their bank where they can even overspend. Of course, you pay interest on that, So imagine if one of the couple, has that kind of arrangement in their joint account and they keep spending and spending. So by the time that couple is aware, there's crisis. So it's better to even use debit card. And like I've explained here.
For a joint account.
Yes, for a joint account. Yes. Even if you have a joint account, also have another account for your own personal expenses. The joint account is for the family. And that's why when we teach this course, we don't just teach the husband.
Teach both.
We have to teach both couples. Because for it to work, both couples must be on the same page. You don't need to be a financial expert as a married couple. But if there are issues, you can seek professional advice. The wife can understand. Anyway, because of our attitude, some people, they don't want to look at bills. The other partner that likes it, let that partner does that. Then your home might be implementing some other budget in the house. And at the end of the day, both of you will now sit down. This one give issue a report. This one also give issue a report. And you move because of that love that is there.
Let me come in here.
Yes.
Must it really be structured? Must we do it in such a way that, 30% of my salary goes into the joint account every month, and maybe 70% of his salary goes into the joint account, and then we have a separate account? What if we just know that, I'm the one who is in charge of, we have a broken plate, or we need cups, or we need to get soaps, and then he's in charge of every other big thing?
Yes.
Must it be structured?
When you talked about structure, why did you say 30% for you and then 70% for him?
That's what I'm saying.
You don't want 50-50?
You see, again, this is a very intelligent question. Again, it's what suits both of you. Now that's what I say, open communication. You must talk about it. If you are comfortable, even if it's 10%, and he is comfortable with the 90%, there's nothing wrong with it. The other way around also,
it's fine.
You can do 90%,
exactly.
He can also do 10%, and it's comfortable to both parties. It's fine. But there are cases where the wife does not work, she's at home doing all the household work, and he goes out to work. But again, they are what? They are equal. Yeah. In a relationship, they are equal. So even though she doesn't even get income for the family,
she's working for the family.
And if they will go out and get somebody to do those chores, of course, that person will be paid. So the wife is equally working, even though she's not contributing in terms of finances. So the couple should see themselves as equal.
Okay, my question is, must we have that structure? What if it's unwritten? I just sort some stuff and then we know that he's the almighty sorter.
again, that is a wrong notion. Don't say it's the Almighty. So you also be the Almighty
Exactly.
sorter, you know. Yes, it might not be that structure,
Okay.
but as long as it suits both of you and both parties are good with it, there's nothing wrong with that.
All right.
Okay.
Continue, please.
So, yes, define your short-term and long-term goals for your money.
Okay.
You know, as you are paying your house rent, you're also projecting forward. When are we going to acquire one property? When are we going to take a mortgage? You know, when are we going to acquire this electronic item? You know, you have two of you. And that's what I call a financial date nights. Set aside one night every month where two of you, it's like on a date, and you talk about your finances.
I don't like talking about money, actually.
Don't be shy about it.
It's not even being
Just
shy.
talk about it.
I feel uncomfortable, really.
Why?
I'm scared. I'm
Comfortable
like,
spending.
yeah, I just feel like I don't want to dabble into. Just do your
But
stuff.
that's,
When we
that's
need
the
money,
main problem.
bring it.
And that is why we
I mean,
have
that's how I
seen
am.
it. All my practice, we have seen cases like this. They don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I just feel let's just
We are
settle it. Don't tell me I don't want to hear it. Just
No.
I need money for this. Bring it. Oh, we need to get this.
Ah.
No.
And everybody's
You have
fine.
to talk about it. You know, because
Okay.
these days, budgeting is very key. I don't like using the word budget. I
Budget,
say
yeah.
planned spending.
Okay.
When two of you sit down together, because now that we have inflation, you know, what you used to buy before, maybe gas, let's take gas now, has double 100%.
I
Yeah.
know
And you
it,
come and
actually.
say, I'll give you 10,000. You say, but last week you used 5,000. That can be an argument.
Yeah.
But if both of you have sat down and you discuss this thing and he is aware, you are aware, you see the empathy from both sides and you see how things will move smoothly. Yeah, it's a little bit of compromise about your attitude and your belief. You just need to begin to have a change
I'll
of
try.
mindset. Yes. So the next one is we discuss contribution towards supporting parents, whether we like it or not. In this part of the world, Nigeria, we support our parents, whether we like it or not. So you need to discuss how to support our various parents. Your parents might be alive, his parents might be alive. How do we support them? You know, not at one point in time say, we are helping your mother too much, you know. But if two of you have sat down and agreed, we have spoken about it, then it will not be a problem.
Talking
I'm
about
not saying those discussions are going to be easy and
Easy,
straightforward,
yeah.
of course, but you just need to keep talking about it. Yes, well, answer the
Okay,
question.
in some families, what they do is the woman takes care of her family, the man
Okay.
takes care of his own family. But when there is a real need, the
Okay.
man can then step in, or the woman can also step in. Do you think that's okay?
Yeah, that if both of them they agree
Okay.
and it suits them. Another thing again in managing your finances in marriage is you have to also plan for the children.
Exactly.
Plan for the children's education.
Yeah.
At what time do you place the children on allowances?
Okay.
Yes. Because at what time do you begin to talk to them about money? At what time is it okay for them to understand that, look, daddy and mommy used to have this kind of a bed. These days, things are, you know, but
You mean we should communicate that?
at a certain age, if they're already undergraduates, they're already adults, and you're still supporting them. So they should be aware. At that level, they're like adults, so they can reason very well too. When they even finish their university education, they have gone for you still support them. When they come back, do they get job immediately? You still support them. I've even seen some parents even support the child when they go and get their first apartment. They support them. So you need to discuss all that, you know. But what we have seen here today in Nigeria is most parents will say, because things are hard, I've done that, I've tried for you.
Okay.
In fact, I even see some, after GS3, they tell the female student, the female, that I've done what I can do for you, go and take care of yourself. That is not helping the society. So try your best as a parent, take them to a level where they can be independent, and of course, then, even at themselves, I've seen parents who support their grandchildren. What if God has blessed them?
Yeah.
That's your own parents now. There's nothing wrong for them to. I've seen a parent who left his accommodation, you know, in Lekki and went somewhere in Ijesha to stay. Though it's also his own property. He said because the Lekki environment is too quiet. He likes the Ijesha where there is so much noise and so many people. And asked his first daughter, say, move in there with your husband and don't pay me any rent. You can see that is supporting your children. So that there's nothing wrong. But the spouse need to discuss and agree about it.
Okay.
this is very so important. If one couple is the one that is bringing the money, for any major purchase, let the two persons be aware. Because if you are not the one bringing the money and you go and commit to a major purchase, then what happens when he comes back or when she comes back, there is issue. And we have seen that when they come like this for counseling, this one is talking, this one is talking, and everybody has a valid point for that argument. So money is very sensitive. So, but when you look at the money and say, this money is not the money itself, it is our attitude towards the money that is causing this problem, then of course we will have a better relationship with money. And of course our relationship in the house will be blossom. And when you create children, or you kind of take care of children in that kind of environment, they also grow up and also begin to emulate daddy and mommy, and we see that the society
is better for it.
Well,
I think we had a great time listening to him. And for me, I think what's most important here is communication before you get into the marriage. And even when you get into it, if you didn't start with that communication while you're in it, keep communicating, because it will help at the end of the day, irrespective of your background, where you're coming from or where he's coming from. I'll try to work on that conversation. I mean, I don't like it.
That is I won't say sacrifice, it's what your own contribution to ensure that you have a very happy and blissful marriage. You know what they call financial, or a blissful organism. It is continuously. And that is the kind of marriages that we are trying to uphold and continue to encourage. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was Charles Fracker there giving us tips on how to manage our finances in marriage so as to have a blissful marriage. I'm sure the married folks have learned one or two things, and for those who are not married, like my humble self, we've also learned one or two things. It's time to go on a short break, even as we hit home stretch on the show. We'll be closing the show when we get back. Please to stay with us.